Greetings, everyone, and Happy New Year to you. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. I'm your host, Pete Pardo, publisher and CEO of SOT. Today, we've got a really great new jazz fusion released from a guitar player that I've been into for a long time, partnering up with a group that honestly, I've never really listened to much. Heard about them for years, and other than hearing a couple tracks here and there, I've never really dove too far into any of their material. So I'm talking about New York City's own Mikestern on guitar, along with the Jeff Lorber Fusion band. The album is called 11. I'm not a huge fan of this album cover. I mean, it's great to see the two guys on there, but Mike's kind of looking way too happy, and I don't know. I think they could have done something a little bit. That would have been cool for the back cover. Would have liked to see something a little different, but anyway, the music is awesome, so who cares? So what do we got here? So we've got how many new tracks? We've got, I don't know, about a dozen or so. All right, 10 exactly, and it's basically Stern on guitar along with Jeff Lorber Fusion. All right, who's in that band, you may ask? So you got Jeff Lorber himself on keyboards, bass, a little guitar. You got Jimmy Haslip, the great Jimmy Haslip, of course, of Yellow Jackets, on bass. Vinny Colaiuta on drums. Gary Novak also on drums. Dave Mann on horn arrangements and other various bits, musical bits here and there. Who else? Dave Weckl also appears on drums. Mike's wife, Lenny Stern, appears briefly on here as well. Is there anybody I'm missing here? I think that's the whole cast of characters. Yes. But again, some pretty hot... Oh, Bob Franceschini on additional saxophones. Who else? I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody here. Chelsea Mall on brief vocals on a track as well. I mentioned Vinny Colaiuta. Yeah, I mean, some great drummers here. You got Vinny, you got Dave Weckl, and, just some great players. Gary Novak. So what does this album sound like? Well, if you've been following Mike Stern for a while, okay, he tends to go back and forth between, very modern sounding, upbeat rock and jazz fusion to kind of more traditional type stuff. Okay, of course, all arranged and played on guitar. And he, has the ability to do like silky sweet melodic lines as well as, kick on that, that either distortion pedal or, his tube screamer and get that, Fender Telecaster to scream, right? He does more of that on this album than anything else. So if you like the more kind of fiery side of Mr. Stern, he is kind of hooking up with Jeff Lorber Fusion, who are very good at like kind of real catchy, melodic, and almost funky fusion fare. So it's kind of like this meeting of the two of these guys. Well, all of them actually, but Jeff Lorber's kind of the brainchild of that band, obviously. And some just killer tunes on here. New Sum is great. What else we got? Ha Ha Hotel is just ridiculous. So complex, so funky, just really good with a barnstorming Mike Stern guitar solo. Big Town is awesome. Slow Change, Tell Me, Runner, Rumba Pagan, Jones Street, Righteous, man, it's all good, top to bottom. I mean, I have not been able to stop listening to this. That's how good it is. If you were going to get one instrumental jazz fusion album this year, and only one, you haven't bought any all year long, you'd say, you know what, I got $15 to spend, or however much it's going to cost you, and I want to get one fusion album this year. And there's a lot of good ones, all right? But man, you cannot go wrong with this. Cannot go wrong with this. Well, the Virgil Donati one I talked about in the last episode also is quite good. But man, I have not been able to stop listening to this. And I love Mike Stern. I do. He's released so many albums over the years, and I have a whole bunch of them. But sometimes you can't keep up. But I saw that he was doing something with Jeff Lorber, and I'm like, you know what? That might be kind of really cool. A little something different for Mike, because Mike doesn't do a lot of like. He appears on other people's albums and stuff here and there, but it's interesting to hear him play with a new cast of musicians. Although, Dave Weckl he's played with before, and I'm not sure if he's ever done anything with Vinny Colaiuta before. But really cool, cool keyboards, funky arrangements, great rhythms. And of course, the guitar work is just spectacular. So I highly recommend 11 from Mike Stern and the Jeff Lorber Fusion Band. Check it out. Do not miss it. And while you're at it, this is on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. So stay tuned. We got another one coming up. Another new product release for you that you won't want to miss. And we'll probably see you somewhere after midnight, New Year's Eve tonight, because got the folks here, got my buddy Wild Bill from Comic Book Geezers here. We may just all do a little kind of like wishing you well video for 2020. So do not miss that. All right. So stay tuned. We'll be right back at you. Bye-bye.